What's up, guys? So I finally have my final iteration of this deck done. Actually, one second, I gotta switch screens. And this is probably, well, I'm streaming, so obviously I'm not gonna draw shitty. I need one more land. I'm gonna chance it. I just need one more land, and this is a decent hand. We'll keep it. But yeah, so this is my green, white, or green, red, white werewolf deck. Damn, it's not a land. And it's probably one of the most rounded decks I've built. It's aggro-y, it's mid-rangey, and it can last in the late games because of the draw power from this card right here. So, you know, sweepers with the full hand doesn't matter if you can just keep hacking out 2 or 3 creatures a turn. I got my land, yes. Alright, so this hand is gonna be okay now. This is a good card. So ingest. I see 2 blue. Oh, 3 colors. I thought I was gonna be facing a mill deck. Usually if I see ingest creatures, some kind of a mill. Oh, it's weird. He's missed the land drop. It's probably. Oh no, he didn't. So he's focusing on flying. That's what it looks like, which is decent. But I'm gonna be packing out more damage than he can. Well, at least not this turn. But let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna put down enchantment this turn, and from now on, I'm gonna draw cards. Every creature I put, well, almost every creature. So this deck has the only reason I won white is for the really good declaration and stone removal, for the flying enchantment to combat other flyers, because that's the biggest weakness of this deck is fighting other. It's just not being able to block flyers if you need to, or getting over like a board full of ground creatures for that last amount of damage. That's a good card to lose though. So he is missing land drops now. Alright, so I only need so I'm just gonna hit him hard here. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him for 7. No tricks. All right, cool. So next turn, I wanna keep drawing cards as much as possible. So I'm gonna play this. It's a 3 power creature. I wanna save this for when I have when my wolves get pumped up with the enchantments. So it's it's like aggro creatures, and a bunch of enchantments that make them just OP. And of course, if you run white, I'm gonna run the always watching enchantment. Gives all my creatures vigilance, well, non-token vigilance and +1, which is really good with the trample added to it. Well, with the werewolf enchantment, I forgot what it was called. Are you sure you want to hit for 3? I'm gonna hit you for 7 next turn, buddy. I wouldn't recommend it. There you go. At least you can block my 3/2. There you go. Alright, so I'm at 4 mana, 5 next turn. Would like one of my enchantments though. Ooh, Declaration of Stone. That'll be good for later if I need it. Ah shit, where was I? What should I do here? Let's put this down. Actually, I'm gonna. Should I get rid of his blocker and hit him for 8? No, let's draw cards. Let's keep our hand full. I don't want to get greedy and overcommit and waste my kill spell when I don't need to. And that's about it. I don't want to play 2 spells because my wolves are gonna transform to their weaker state. But that's what I'm saying. This deck is the most well-rounded deck I've made in a while. It has aggro, it has mid-range, good beefy creatures like this guy with flash, and it has staying power, like late game power, even against sweepers because of this card. Because you're replacing every creature you put down, you're replacing it with this, with another card. So my hand is full right now. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Leave it like this. I could play this guy this turn, and my werewolves would turn into humans. But the thing is, I can pay 4. Oh, he quit already. I'll just finish it out because I'm gonna do a deck list right after this. Next turn I can pay 4 and give one of my humans double strike, which will do more damage. But I want to keep the wolves right now because if I get another wolf, oh, there goes my flying. If I get another wolf, I can transform it right away with this ability. Alright, so I got choices here. So he's a 1/2, he can't favorably block with anybody. So I'm just gonna attack. I don't need to overcommit. The computer might get lucky and draw some crazy crap. And then this. And next turn I can give himself double strike, or just if they happen to play 2 spells, I can give them double strike. Both do missile, okay. Anything good? Before it ends this turn, I'm gonna flash in my Pack Guardian. Alright. You don't need a lot of land in this deck. Well, most of the time. The highest, I only have 1. Actually, no, that's fine. I don't need more creatures. I'll keep the land. It's already game over. Yeah. Full hand, and I've been playing a card every single turn. This is the power that this deck has. And with the enchantment, you have trample, so even a lot of 1/1 blockers can't help them. It's just well-rounded. I'll go through my deck list right now. It's a little weird. There's some 1-ofs, but these 1-ofs are a big help a lot of times. And this deck here, just this deck, I've been playing it, and I'd say since yesterday afternoon, and I'm up to rank 20. Well, not non-stop, obviously. I played it for about 3 hours yesterday, and I've been playing about 2 hours today. Alright, so I've been experimenting. I call it the Wolf Pack. Do a quick deck list. And I just want to put the deck list out just so people can try it out. It's honestly pretty well rounded. Obviously, you're not going to win every game. That's with any deck. Let's see. So 2 Oath of Nissas is a decent card. It can filter for a creature or a land or a planeswalker. I run 2 planeswalkers, so it's not a bad card. 2 of these because filtering through to get one of your enchantments is what makes your creatures start becoming just too much to deal with. Your enchantments are what makes you run away with the game just a lot faster. It outpaces your opponent. A 1-of a veteran Cathar, because he's not a human, but that giving one of your humans double strike, especially when they're pumped up with all these enchantments and they have trample, the human werewolves. It's pretty bonkers, man. And it's a 2-drop, so you can late game you can still pay 6 mana to use it pretty effectively. Obviously, Duskrush Recruiter. 3 was too much. 2 is good. I don't look at the top 3 cards that much, but when he does flip over and makes your creatures cast less, it's pretty good. The only thing is, it's not that much of a benefit because you don't want to play 2 creatures in 1 turn anyways, because you don't want them to flip. So that's why 2 is good. 3 land bolts. This is a really good turn 2 play if you're on the play, because usually turn 2 they're going to put down a tap land, or they're not going to have something to play most of the time, and it flips into a 4/4. It's pretty good. If not, it's a 3/3 for 2. That's a pretty damn good blocker against aggro. Flying, because flying is important. Like, there's so much flying in this meta right now with all these new cards. You're gonna have to, like, you can have big creatures on the ground, but there's a angel hitting you in the air, just slowly, you know, taking the game away from you. So flying is really important, and it's important to get over their creatures too if you need to. Yeah, and all these enchantments, they work really well with the other enchantments that I have. Obviously, if you play white, you want to play your Declaration of Stone. You get rid of all kinds of tokens for free for 2 mana. It's a good card. Or get rid of indestructible ramp deck creatures. A 3/2 for 3 mana with haste is good, and this has one of the best abilities as a werewolves. Whenever another werewolf comes in, it comes in transformed. You can transform it right away. It's awesome. One of these, it starts at 3 power, which is important because of my enchantments, and giving a creature indestructible at instant speed is pretty good. And it has trample itself, which is already a plus. But when it gets pumped, it gets even better. This is a really good card. Silver Partisan. If they ever want to kill it, I'm still going to get another 2. It replaces itself. Or if they want to tap down my creatures, you see a lot of control now. They're going to tap down 2 of your creatures, whatever. You get two wolves out of it for each creature they targeted. It's a damn good card. I wish I could play another one. 2 Tireless Trackers, because it's a really good value card. You bring it down, it triggers my enchantment to draw a card, and it gets bigger if you want to keep drawing. If you want to draw cards, or you know, lands become beneficial with this card. So it's a decent value card. This is important. It's not as good, but when it flips, it has a big butt. It survives Radiant Flames. It does a lot of things. But drawing 2 cards, or 1 card even, if they decide to try to do a trick on my turn, it's pretty damn good. Love this enchantment. That's one of the reasons why I decided to splash in white, and it was a great idea actually, because of the other white cards I added have made this deck a little better than its other self when it was just green-red. It was good, it just wasn't flexible enough, and with white it is. So Vigilance and +1/+1, it's awesome. It's freaking awesome. Plus this enchantment, it has Flash, which is one of the best tricks you can do to give all your creatures +1 permanently. And it helps so you don't have to play 2 spells in 1 turn. 3 of those. 3 Elemental Bonds, because this is how you stay in the late game a lot of times. Keep your hand full as much as possible. Keep your hand full. I mean, and even with the sweeper, if you have a handful of creatures that you can put down 3 or 4, you know, in 1 turn, because they're not all super expensive, it's pretty good, and still draw cards off of them. Yeah. And that's why a lot of the creatures here, I try to focus on them, most of them being 3 power or greater. But this helps out with that too. Either this one or this enchantment makes it so even with the 2 power creatures, when they come down, they still trigger this enchantment. So it's pretty damn good. This guy has helped me so many times. A Flash 4/3 that can give you another 2/2 Green Wolf if you have an extra land that you don't need. It's awesome. It's like, especially with the enchantment, it's like 1 card gives you 2 draws if you discard a land. Oh, she's awesome. Her +1 is nuts. +2/+2 haste and vigilance. It's nuts. I rarely flip her. I only flip her if she's already like past at 7 loyalty. But I never, when I'm +1ing her and it just keeps going, the game usually ends pretty quick. Chandra, because she's Chandra. Like, if you have red and you're not like just straight up aggro, like 1 drops, 2 drops, that's it. Well, how can I say, if you're even mid-rangey, this is a high cost card, but being able to nuke the board is important. Being able to just replace your hand +1 but the +1 is the thing I use the most, obviously. Now, the funny thing is, when you +1 her and you have the enchantment, you draw 2 cards because they're 3/1. They have 3 power, so you +1. Not only do you get 2 hasty creatures hitting for 6, but now you're filling up your hand again with that 2 card draw power. This deck is I'm pretty happy about it. It's been winning me games just in a row. You lose one or two here, but that's with any deck. So I run 2 plains, 3 mountains, and 4 forests for the basics, 2 cinder glades, and then the rest are kind of the duels that come in untapped if you have any of these out already. So, and even if they come in tapped, there's 3 colors, so you want it to be as consistent as possible. So 2 Rubound Crags, 2 Picktop Treats for the white. Most of the dual lands have white in them. That way I can get the colors that I need most of the time, which is green and red. But the double white, I need that as soon as possible so I can drop my enchantment turn 3 if I have it. And 4 Evolving Wilds, obviously, for the color fixing. But yeah, that's my deck. I hope you guys will give it a try if you have all the cards available to you. And see if you like it as much as I do.